What's up, everyone? I'm Taylor. Coming up this week, a group of seniors are feeling the beat. A gender reveal has a price tag that could have bought a few new cars. Plus, a little boy discovers a career opportunity, leaving him want to play high in the sky. It's time for the Weekly Rundown. So I'm a basic millennial, and you can probably catch me scrolling through social media pretty often, maybe more than I'd actually like to admit. But I came across a video this week that's sure to make anyone smile. Check it out. So that girl is doing a little dance because she just landed a new job. Her new employer saw this on the security camera as she was leaving her last interview, where she got the job offer, and the employer thought it was so awesome that she decided to share it on Instagram. The video garnered thousands of views, and the employer, well, she garnered a very happy new associate. Now, what do you do after you lose a job? Well, for a 70-year-old man in Iceland, the answer was to become a gum-chewing warrior. The chewing gum man has cleaned up over 15,000 pieces of gum in just the past 10 weeks. Local companies stepped up to sponsor his project, but he says his reward is just to see the gooey blobs disappear. Now, from gooey gum to turned up techno, a French DJ is giving techno music lessons to nursing home residents. Residents between 90 and 99 years old participate in the workshop to allow them to work on agility and creativity. The sound treatment helps with reducing anxiety and keeps the elderly feeling spunky. I mean, I'd listen to them, wouldn't you? Now, this next story is quite a different kind of community service. A freshman in high school has made sure the show goes on in her Denver neighborhood despite the pandemic. Over the last month, this 14-year-old we're about to introduce you to has been training the neighborhood kids to perform the classic musical Annie for their neighbors. Katie Eastman takes us to the performance.
A year without theater is a year that Ava Hanft would not have.
Orphans, get your costume dirty, it's fine.
When spring and summer productions were canceled,
Does anybody need help?
Ava decided to make her debut as a director at 14 years old.
I've always felt older than I am, but I am very, very proud of it, and I'm so excited because I've already been talking about my next show.
But before that, she has her final performance of Annie Jr. Ava wrangled together a cast of neighborhood kids to play the parts.
With COVID, I haven't done anything, so I thought it was a great idea to do it outside. We've been practiced outside the entire time, so we've been really safe, and I thought it was so fun because now all the kids get to be in a production too.
The oldest members of the cast are Ava and another 14-year-old.
It's mostly fifth graders, and we've been practicing since August 25th, so we've had 5 weeks and 4 days, I think.
If you want to hear good news, this is good news.
As much as Ava missed performing, everyone else missed having something to watch.
I love you, Miss Hannigan! Get to work! Stripped and bent!
It was cuteness overload. It was amazing. They had so much fun.
Isn't that awesome? The production was complete with a concession stand. They put the money from snacks and drinks towards the Hurley House, which is an organization that supports families impacted by addiction. I think Ava has a very bright future ahead of her. Now, the bar exam isn't easy, and neither is giving birth, but imagine having to do both.
I felt something. I had like a brief fleeting thought of, I really hope that's not water breaking.
Brianna Hill didn't expect to be taking the rest of her bar exam at a hospital, but her newborn son had other ideas. Thankfully, she was taking the bar exam remotely in her home when the unexpected event happened.
I cleaned myself up. I called my husband and called my midwives, and they told me I had time before I needed to go to the hospital. So at that point, my husband and I were like, okay, we're gonna keep taking this test.
So she finished the first part at home, then completed the exam in the hospital after giving birth to her sweet little boy, Cassius Phillip. No word yet on if Brianna passed the bar exam, but my fingers are definitely crossed for her. So gender reveals have become quite the thing nowadays, and some people are going very above and beyond to make theirs better than the rest. For those who might not know what a gender reveal is, it's basically a party or some sort of visual to find out and announce the gender of your baby. Well, how much would you pay to make that happen? $100? $10,000, or why not $95,000? Oh yeah, you know where I'm going with this. A couple spent 95,000 big ones to find out the sex of their next. The social media influencers Anaz and Aslas Marwa hosted the grand gender reveal party at the world's tallest building in Dubai. The video of the event announcing the new baby boy soon went viral on social media. Anaz and Aslas run a YouTube channel named the Ansala family with over 7 million followers. An 8-year-old girl is making a big splash with her pet snake. Yep, another snake story this week, I know. Inbar has grown up with an 11-foot python named Belle and thinks nothing of swimming with it all the time.
My name is Inbal. I like to swim with my snake.
Inbar lives with her family on an animal sanctuary in southern Israel. She says Belle is good company, especially since she can't go to school right now. Inbar's mother said her daughter and Belle grew up together.
I see it very natural because Inbar raised with all these animals and she's raised with the snakes.
Her stepfather also says it's no big deal.
Belle is so big now for the bath. So the idea was to put Belle inside in the pool with Inbar so they can both will be occupied, you know.
I mean, even her sister's okay with it.
I don't really like them. I used to, but now I don't. But when I see my little sister having so much fun and connecting in such a good way to all the animals, especially snakes, it makes me feel happy that she's happy.
Yeah, I agree with you there, girl. I am not a fan, as anyone who's seen the show before knows. Now, what snake story will slither my way next week? I don't know. Now, a good-hearted photographer is using her skills to lift the spirits of one very brave little girl. Jeremy Roth has the story.
A photographer in Rhode Island went above and beyond to show support for a little girl battling cancer by making her a fairy tale princess for a day. 5-year-old Ariana Taft is fighting an advanced form of kidney cancer. Local photographer Ashley Richer learned about her illness and wanted to do what she could to help. So she cleared her schedule, bought Ariana some costumes, and set up a photo shoot. But the photos are just the first part. The real magic happens in post-production. Richer, who in the past lost a family friend to a terminal illness, says she's happy to help.
Richer also says she's photographed a number of children battling serious diseases. She says other kids have wanted to be superheroes, mermaids, or unicorns. Isn't that sweet? All right, after the break, I'm talking to Stephen Hankey because you know what's coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. Joining me again this week is Stephen Hankey. Now, we've seen him a few times in the past few weeks. We've shown you around the Desert Age Project Health Center. We took you downtown on a fun little trip. And it's all leading up to
Desert AIDS Walk.
That's right, Stephen. And it's not too late. It's coming up quick, but it's not too late to register. Walk us through the walk. When is it? And can people still register?
Absolutely. All folks need to do is go to desertaidswalk.org, register, share out on their social media that they're walking, ask their friends and family to support them in the walk, and raise funds for Desert AIDS Project. Of course, Desert AIDS Project is the healthcare home to 7,000 of our friends and neighbors, and there's never been a time where access to healthcare was more important.
Right, and as we said, we took people downtown last week, so we can make this walk fun. We're going virtual, but it can still be fun. Tell us, like, what types of walks should people do, or what can they do?
Yeah, you know, the great thing is you can do any walk you want. There are walk routes posted on desertaidswalk.org, but you can make up your own route. And what we're really hoping folks do is you're gonna get one of these great masks that say hope on them when you register to walk. And we'd love for you to just go into your community and walk in your favorite park, walk downtown, say hello to the favorite merchants, stop for lunch. Everyone needs our support right now. Everyone needs hope. And we all need a reason to stay resilient throughout this pandemic.
Right, and now people walk for all different reasons. Obviously, all supporting the same thing, but we ask people to send in videos and tell us why they walk. So we're going to check a few of those out right now.
All right.
I walk for my community, the community that I call home, and for the mission of the Desert AIDS Project to enhance and promote the health and well-being of the community.
Like many of you, I walk every year in memory of those that I've lost and in solidarity with those in my life who live with HIV. This year, I add to those reasons, wanting to support DAP's frontline response to COVID in this community. I hope you'll step forward with me.
I walk to support everybody that needs a little hope in their lives. I walk for friends. I walk for people that need food. I walk for people that need medicine. I walk for hope.
I've been walking for AIDS walks in New York and here probably for close to 20 years. And I walk because I can. It's really as simple as that.
I walk because I've been living with HIV since 2004. I'm considered a long-timer. If it wasn't for the services and programs like Desert AIDS Project, I don't know what would have happened in my life. I'm so grateful.
I walk for all the people who have lost their lives to AIDS, and I walk for all the clients we at the Desert AIDS Project have supported all these years.
I walk every year at the Desert AIDS Walk, and I care about the mission of Desert AIDS Project because I want my child to have a good future where social justice is important.
It's so important now as ever to continue to support people with HIV/AIDS and our community. And let's do great this year, even in the virtual world.
Those are pretty awesome. It's so great to hear people's stories. Now, we want people to keep sharing, right, Stephen?
Yeah.
So how can they do that?
Yeah, so there's power in storytelling and there's power in story listening. And we want you to share your stories. You can share them on DAP Community Action's Facebook page. You can share them on the Desert AIDS Walk event page. But talk to the community about why you're walking. Inspire others to make a difference. It's so easy to make an impact. And I think right now, when we're wondering how can we show up and make a difference during this pandemic, this is one easy way. Just share your story, tell people why you care, and tell them why you're getting into action.
Yeah, and not only that, but the community is so big. I mean, it's great to even connect with people around you on these pages and through these hashtags and doing the walks.
Yep. There's so much sad news right now. There's so much negative news, as we know. And so these are positive stories about people making a real impact right here in our community. And if you're one of those people, this is your opportunity to tell your story.
And we know you're out there. But there's also something else coming up involving the walk.
Yes.
We've got a special coming up. Tell people about that.
Yep, October 23rd, right here on NBC Palm Springs.
Right here on NBC Palm Springs.
Sandy Newton's hosting a 30-minute special kicking off the AIDS Walk. It's going to be a deep dive in all the really important work that's happening at Desert AIDS Project. We're going to hear from the CEO of DAP, David Brinkman, our board chair, Patrick Jordan, and of course, some of our really generous sponsors of the event as well.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me these past few weeks, Stephen. We've had a lot of fun.
It's been fun.
But stick around after the break. Anthony Caridi is joining me to introduce you to this week's Essential Employee of the Week. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. I'm Anthony Caridi with Toyota of the Desert, and it's time to introduce you to this week's Essential Employee of the Week. Meet Rachel.
We are here in Thermal. The people here think we are doing a commercial, but what we're really doing is we are surprising Rachel Davis. Rachel Davis, you are our Employee of the Week. You are getting $1,000 from Honda and Toyota of the Desert. Your coworkers, your employers, they love you. They say you do so much. You are, as we understand, a nurse. And that you've worked so hard through the whole experience of the pandemic. So they wanted to honor you in this way.
Wow, well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be able to be a part of Thermal and our flight crew. And the work we do with Mercy Air has been amazing to be a small part of that as a flight nurse. And but there's a lot of other people that go into it. We have our pilots, our mechanics, our medics, our all the other admin people, the Desiree and Vanessa. So, I mean, it's not just the, we say the essential workers, we think of nurses and paramedics, but there's a whole bunch of people to support us and make sure that we're able to do the jobs we can.
Yes, and Rachel, this one's about you, so let's hear what you have to say.
Congratulations. We just heard amazing things about your story and how much you do for everyone. So we're so excited to be here this morning.
We're excited to be part of it, and it was nice tricking you. That was actually kind of fun. So.
Yeah, it was a surprise. Wow.
Her dedication and leadership that she showed not only with her teammates, but the base and, the mission that we are working towards in serving our community, she's definitely been part of that.
Congratulations again, Rachel. Well-deserved, great job. Now to the encouraging quote of the week. What we fear of doing most is usually what we most need to do. After the break, Taylor has a story for Shania Twain fans, and I know there's lots of you out there. The Weekly Rundown will be right back.
Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. Now, Shania Twain is, well, amazing, and the beloved star has a fan base of all ages spanning over years of hard work and some extremely amazing performances. Now, she's celebrating a milestone anniversary of the album, which started her rise to becoming the best-selling female country artist in the U.S. Rick Damigella talked with the legend herself.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the release of Shania Twain's sophomore album, The Woman in Me. It was the top-selling country album in 1995 and has since sold an estimated 20 million copies worldwide. Twain is celebrating the milestone with her fans with the release of The Woman in Me Diamond Edition. The Diamond Edition is being released in a limited vinyl pressing, along with a 2-CD set and 3-CD box set, which features a 48-page booklet and 11 previously unreleased early takes done prior to the album's recording. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Shania Twain's The Woman in Me Diamond Edition is officially out. Both CD versions of the album feature a disc of rare remixes and live tracks from the 90s, as well as from her Las Vegas residency last December. Shout out to Shania, love that lady. All right, now it's time to check in with everyone's favorite movie guy, Manny the Movie Guy.
Hello, movie buffs. 2 new scary films just for you. I'm Manny the Movie Guy. Let's begin by reading Books of Blood.
All the dead have stories.
From the diabolical mind of Clive Barker, Hulu's Books of Blood is loosely based on his collection of stories with some twists and turns provided by director Brannon Braga.
The approach I took was kind of a Pulp Fiction approach. Pulp Fiction's not a horror movie, but it's a great anthology movie.
Books of Blood is an anthology movie made up of 3 stories, namely Jenna, about a runaway girl, Revenge and Redemption in Miles, and Bennett, about an assassin, played by Yul Vasquez.
I wanted to bring some comedy to it.
Books of Blood has a lot of laughs to balance the gore. This one is flawed, with some head-scratching logic, but the scares are aplenty. And I like how the stories are interconnected and retain some of Barker's transgressive elements. There are violence and nudity, so parents beware. And for that, Books of Blood gets 2.5 out of 4. What's your story? Kisses.
Hey, have we met?
Amazon Prime Video's Evil Eye may appear to be a love story, but look closely and you'll see it's an intriguing supernatural film masquerading as a heartfelt domestic drama.
Oh my God, I love the way you speak about this film.
Sarita Chowdhury is Usha, the protective mother of Pallavi, played by Sunita Mani. Mom is in India, daughter is in the US, but their love remains until the arrival of the mysterious Sandeep, played by Omar Mascat.
She tried to kill herself.
I'm sorry.
Evil Eye is not a straight-up scary movie. It's more cerebral, except for the final act, when the protection of the Evil Eye bracelet is tested.
It will protect you, darling.
Moody and haunting with committed performances, take a peek at Evil Eye.
I pray.
I do believe in Evil Eye. Look, I'm wearing one.
We can see. You are our spirit guide. Yeah.
And for that, Evil Eye gets 3 out of 4. Protect us from evil. Kisses. I'm Manny the Movie Guy. Happy Halloween!
All right, thanks, Manny. Now, after the break, I'm introducing you to this little guy.
I've never seen in my whole life people cutting down trees.
Is he not the cutest? Yeah, stick around. The Weekly Rundown will be back in 2 minutes. As a kid, maybe you dreamed of being a fireman or a police officer. That's not so for the 5-year-old in our next story. He recently found his calling rested in a much higher location. And as Sam Reed reports, thanks to a couple of kind souls, he now has all the gear he needs to crank up a chainsaw and get started.
For months, Chris Perry and Joshua Spencer have been the dynamic duo.
So we have a routine down.
These tree trimmers spend their day removing unwanted limbs near power lines.
I'm the one that's always in the bucket.
A few weeks ago, they brought some much welcome joy to a Johnston boy and his grandfather.
I've never seen in my whole life people cutting down trees.
5-year-old Parker Martin and his pops spent a hot, humid summer afternoon watching the men work.
Every time a branch came down, we cheered for him. We thought, oh yeah, that's great.
Parker was paralyzed with amazement.
They did have big chainsaws.
Josh and Chris could see how thrilled the boy was to watch them work.
And he was just ecstatic.
Very seldom will you actually see people sit and watch.
Parker took things a step further.
I wrote them a card and I put it on a tree branch.
Thanking his new friends for a job well done.
Not too many people will come out and thank us.
What happened next meant the most to the Martins.
The day after, the guy said to me, hey, we have something for your grandson. And I said, you gotta be kidding. Totally unexpected.
On their lunch break, with a hard hat in hand, safety goggles and earplugs, Parker, whose namesake is from Spider-Man, turned into an honorary tree trimmer.
That was awesome.
It made a 5-year-old's day. And a memory he'll never forget.
For the next week, Parker waited and watched for them. A reminder they too are appreciated and there's no job too small.
As much as an impression that we left on him just by doing this, he left just an equal, if not greater, impression on us.
Parker says besides following in Spider-Man's footsteps, when he grows up, he would like to be a tree trimmer. If that's not what you call ending on a good note, then I'm not sure what is. I'll see you all next week right here on Weekly Rundown.